Hello Stampers, I'm Kelly Acheson at stampabove.com coming to you from Menasha, Wisconsin. I'm an independent demonstrator in the US. Today for the Stamping Society blog hub, we are featuring the Quite Curvy Variety Bundle. I've been calling it Curvy Celebrations. It has two different stamp sets in it. This is the Quite Curvy stamp set. We've got the Curvy Christmas stamp set. We've got the Curvy dies, and then we've got this classic Christmas designer series paper. This has been such a fun bundle of products to play with. I can't hardly wait to show you what I made. So let's flip the camera around and we'll get started. I'm going to start you off with the classic Christmas 6x6 designer series paper. We've got Cherry Cobbler, Shaded Spruce, and Sahara Sand. These are fabulous colors for all your Christmas projects. And as you can see today, I'm going to be using the Sahara Sand. My cards aren't about Christmas at all. So I just love these little patterns. Then we've got the Curvy Christmas stamp set. This is beautiful. It's got 13 different stamps in it, and it goes along with the Curvy dies. Where's my little sheet? Here's my little sheet. So the Curvy dies have all of these border dies in them, which I love border dies. I'm just always thankful for border dies. And then we've got these other dies that go along with the Quite Curvy stamp set. So let's get started. I've got 3 different color variations on the card that I'm going to share with you today. Here are our card layers. So I chose to use crumb cake. This is 4 1/4 by 11. I've already scored my cardstock at 4 1/4. So we're going to burnish that edge good. And then right off the bat, we're going to work with the inside. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch layer. And then I've got some of the Sahara Sand designer series paper. And this is 3/4 by 4. And then Bumblebee, that's 1 by 4. And we're going to stamp our sentiment in Memento ink right on our designer series paper. I chose the Thinking of You Makes My Day. And I love this because it's a great all occasion sentiment. And I'm just going to stamp that right on that designer series paper. And look how fun that is. So like I said, this is the inside of our card. So I'm going to dress it up just a little bit. This layout for the inside really leaves a lot of room to write a nice message to somebody. Add that to my Bumblebee cardstock, and this is going to go right down here at the bottom. So then we've got all this room up here to write, and isn't that just attractive? I like stamping on designer series paper, and when you have a very mellow pattern in a lighter color, you can certainly do that. It's something I forget about frequently, but then when I remember, it's like, ooh, I can stamp on this designer paper. So that's always fun, and isn't that just a really nice inside for a card? Okay, next up, we have a piece of the Classic Christmas. This is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8, and we're going to just add this right to our 3 3/4 by 5 inch. Whoops, this looks like it's cut wrong. Hang on just a second. Let me get this cut right. Okay, I think I have my cardstock cut correctly now. Holy cow, some days are more challenging than others. So, designer series paper is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. My Bumblebee layer is 3 3/4 by 5. I don't know how I managed to mess that up so bad, but I did. Okay, I think we're good here. I'm going to adhere this right to the front of my card base. And then we're going to do a little decorating, a little coloring. We're going to modify some embellishments. That's going to be fun. All right, we need a scrap of Whisper White and a scrap of crumb cake. First thing I'm going to do is bring in my Label Me Lovely punch, and I'm going to punch out a crumb cake label. Now I'm going to keep my curved edge of this punch on the top and the bottom. And I've got my little hello mounted here. I'm just going to stamp this over to the right in the middle of my punch. And then we're going to bring in this pretty floral image. I'm using Memento ink on all of this. Whoops, that didn't stamp very good. Let me try that again. There we go. And you're going to stamp the floral image 2 times, and then we're going to use one of our birds. And I'm just going to stamp over that so I don't waste my time coloring it in because it didn't turn out very good. I've got several Stampin' Blend markers here. We're using Old Olive, and then we're using Mango Melody along with the light soft suede and the light crumb cake. So let's color our bird in first. I'm going to go with the light soft suede, and I'm just going to add some shadow marks right on my little bird like that. Then I'm going to come in with the light crumb cake, and I'm going to blend those. This is what we have so far. And now we're going to bring in our Mango Melody. I always like to use my darkest color first, and then I come in with the lighter color and I blend it. So there's my dark Mango Melody. And here comes my light Mango Melody. I'm going to fill in the rest of my bird. And you can see here how that looks before you blend it. You want to just keep kind of coloring over it until you don't see that definite line of the darker color there. And then that gives you that really nice shading that makes you look like an artist. I love it. Okay, flowers. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go around with the dark mango, and I'm going to just add some shading to the edges of all of these flowers. And I think I've got them all there. Now we're going to come in with the light, and we're going to blend them. And I just keep coloring over them until you don't see that definite color difference between the two colors. So there's our flowers. And now we're going to do the same thing with the Old Olive. So I've got dark Old Olive here, and this is very small to work with, so you have to kind of use a light touch. I'm just going through and coloring half of my leaves that are kind of split in half with the dark Old Olive. They've got a seam down the middle. So this is what I've done so far. I got to get a little bit on this stem of the flower and that stem. Whoops, I missed this one too. And now I'm going to come in, well, for Pete's sakes, Kelly, I missed that one too. I'm just excited about using the light. Here comes my light Old Olive, and I'm going to fill everything else in with the light Old Olive. There we go. Look at how pretty that is, right? Okay, I'm going to color the other set of flowers in the same way, and then we need to get our dies out, which, by the way, here are all the dies that are in the Curvy dies. This cuts out the leaf image. We've got a little sprig right here, 3 different birds, another sprig that there's no stamp for. You just die cut out a sprig of leaves, and then our flowers. And then these are the different borders that are die cut. So let's grab this. Okay, here's our die for our little bird. And then here's our die for our flowers. And I've already got another one of these that are colored in. So I'm gonna I would die cut all of these, and I'll be right back. We're going to take a mini dimensional and put it on the back of our little bird. And then these 2 layers I'm going to glue onto my label. Oops. I'm just going to add a little bit of glue at the top of the label. Put this right on here. And, whoops, got a little bit of glue on my fingers. And then I'm going to go right here. And you're just going to center that from side to side. And then we're going to put this bird right in here. Just like that. Isn't that fun? And then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this layer. So I've got all these edges that I've been accumulating. And then I'm going to pop the backs off. I love this Take Your Pick tool. I use it for so many things. Okay, now this is what this looks like. I'm just going to set that aside for now because we need to make a bow. And I've got the Basket Weave Metallic Ribbon Combo Pack. So we've got this metallic cording and then this really nice weaved ribbon. We're going to use this to tie a fairly good size, or I should say a bow with long tails. So I'm going to tie up my bow. And the key to getting a nice bow is to keeping all the layers from twisting and turning around. So you like to keep them all even and straight. That looks like a pretty good bow. Okay. Mini glue dot. Right here, right in front of me. I'm going to do a mini glue dot on here. And then I'm going to put this right about here. So I've got it in the center, about an inch, inch and a quarter down. And now I'm going to take my tails, and I don't think these are my newest scissors. Here we go. Those have been beaten up pretty good. There we go. These are nice and sharp. And I'm just pulling this down so that my tails kind of end at the bottom of my cardstock layers. Okay, now we're going to kind of hang on to these. We're going to bring this in here and we're going to push that label right up against our bow. And of course our dimensionals on the back are going to hold our bow in place. Isn't that cute? There's only one other thing that I wanted to do. I want some embellishments on my card. So I'm going to bring in my Mango Melody Stampin' Blend marker. And I'm going to give these wonderful gems, there's clear with gold speckles in them. I'm going to give these a little color with the Bumblebee marker. Then I use my Take Your Pick tool to pick them up. And I'm going to add them to my card front. Just like that for a little bit of bling on there. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? I love this. Okay, so this one is Bumblebee. This one is made with Gorgeous Grape, and then I used the Highland Heather Stampin' Blend markers. Isn't that pretty? And then I did another one with Cherry Cobbler. So I used the Cherry Cobbler Stampin' Blend markers. And again, I colored those wonderful gems. Oh no, I didn't need to color these because they're red. Oh, I might have put a little Cherry Cobbler on them just to make them a tad bit darker. I think I did. So there we go. Okay, now don't forget, this is part of a blog hop with the Stamping Society. On the first of every month, the design team, the Stamping Society design team, does a blog hop, and we're all featuring projects using the Quite Curvy Variety Bundle. So you're going to get lots of ideas when you go on this blog hop. Plus, we each have created another project or projects, and we do a video tutorial for those, but that is kept separate. And you can get that when you place an order with me in the month of December. It is my gift to you. So it's a tutorial of 6 different videos with instructions and pictures and dimensions and the whole deal as a thank you for placing an order with me. Now, if you're in the United States, you can place an order with me. If you're outside the United States, look for a demonstrator in your country in this blog hop and place an order with them. You can also purchase this tutorial with, it's always 5 to 6 different projects for $7. So if you click right up here, that's going to take you over to my blog where you can continue on the blog hop, see what everybody else from around the world made with this beautiful bundle of products. And also you'll see still photos. There's a complete shopping list. If you want to place an order, you can go right to the list and you can click on things. It'll take you right to my Stampin' Up store. We have brand new mini catalogs coming out. We have a celebration brochure. This starts in January, but the catalogs will be available starting in December. We also have a new January to June spring mini catalog that starts in January also. If you do not have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and you would like a copy of these new publications, please feel free to email me right here. I'd be happy to send them to you if you're in the United States. Don't hesitate to ask if you have any questions, and thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me. Head over to that blog hop and see what the Stamping Society design team made using this beautiful bundle of product. Bye-bye.